Hey, today I'm going to make some ham and bean soup in the Instant Pot pressure cooker. I have some really delicious ingredients here. I know it looks like a lot, but a little of this and a little of that will make the most delicious ham and bean soup you ever had, and it really doesn't take that long. First, let me show you the ingredients. Here's the ingredients that we're going to use. I have some white potatoes. I have a hickory smoked piece of ham. I have some bone broth. I'm using beef bone broth. Some celery, some carrots, some garlic chopped up. I have some Italian herbs blended, a little butter, some onions, and some organic leeks. And then also we're going to add several types of beans. These are ones that are my favorites: navy beans, butter beans, and pinto beans. You can use all white beans if you want, whatever kind of beans you'd like. I'm going to start by washing the vegetables, warming up the Instant Pot. I'm going to put it on saute mode right down here. It puts it in a normal cooking position for 30 minutes, and I'm going to put in half a stick of butter. And this will start melting and get ready for us to add some sliced vegetables. Now I'm going to go to the KitchenAid food processor, and I'm going to run through the celery, the onions, and the leeks, because these are the items that we're going to saute before we add the rest of the vegetables. All right, let's get these through. Let's start with the celery. I had a nice bunch of celery hearts, and I left the little leaves and everything in there because they will add to the flavor of the soup. All right, let's get it going. All right, I have the blade set on a rather thick cut. All right, let's get the onions in there. Now the leeks, I cut them into smaller pieces so that I could soak them in water a little bit here to clean out all the sandy parts that come from growing the leeks. A lot of times there's a little dirt in there, but I cleaned these up and soaked them and got them ready to push through also. Now I'm just going to push them through. One got away. All right, that's a very quick way to cut things up. Now I'm going to add that to the melted butter. Let's check on the butter. All right, we got the butter starting to sizzle. Let's put in the carrots, celery, onions, and leeks. We have 2 cups of shredded carrots. Now we use 1 large onion, 3 or 4 small organic leeks, and about 5 stalks of celery. All right, now we don't have to cook them completely. I just want to get the flavor started with the melted butter. Gets us ready to add the beans and ham and everything else. So we'll let that sizzle. In the meantime, we're going to chop up the potatoes. I have some nice scrub potatoes here. These are from the local Padula potato farm. And I'm just going to take off any rough edges and leave the skins on. Now, how long they're in the pressure cooker depends on how thick the potato is. So if we have potatoes something like this, we're going to set the pressure cooking time to about 15 minutes. If you cut small cubes or slices like that, then you can use less pressure cooker time. because everything else in this recipe is already cooked. The ham is already cooked. The beans are canned, so they're ready to go. So we don't need a lot of cooking time. So even though it looks like we have a lot of ingredients, we really don't have to cook it very long. Just make a stir here. So you can see they're starting to get softer. And you can smell a lot of good flavors here. Alright. Just going to cut one more potato here. And we want to make sure everything is going to fit. 3 or 4 potatoes. And the potatoes also give it a nice creamy texture. So at the end, if it feels like we want to add a little thicker sauce to this soup, we can always add some flour to a bit of the liquid that it remains. But we'll test it out because sometimes these potatoes really make it creamy enough. All right, now let's go back to the pot. To me, I'm satisfied with the way that cooking has started. Let's add the garlic. This is about 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic. Then I'm going to add some of these Italian herbs. I like this brand because they have a fresh, soft texture, and you still can get the mixture without going through a lot of the chopping. So that's about 2 tablespoons of Italian herb blend. I get these in the produce area in the store in the pool section. Alright, let's get that mixed in, because after we start adding ham and stuff, we won't do a lot of mixing. Alright. Now we can take the potato chunks. Take the potato chunks and add them right in. I think I'll stop at 3 potatoes until I see if we can fit any more in at the end. This is an 8-quart pressure cooker, so it holds a lot. Alright, next I'm going to take the ham. Now, this is a piece that's really a nice size. This is 2 pounds, okay? And it costs about $13. It's already cooked. Alright, we're going to cut this ham into slices and smaller pieces right now so that when the soup is finished, the ham will be in the bite-sized pieces that we would like. You can see this is a really nice piece of ham. I'm going to leave the outer edge on for flavor. We'll just put the little pieces right in there. This also allows me to put more stuff into the pot because it'll fit better. It's much easier to do this now when it's cold than to cook it and take it out and have it be hard to handle. Make these whatever size you like to have. They will shrink a little bit as they cook. You can smell the smokiness of this nice little ham. All right, now we're going to take the cans of beans and we're going to rinse them off. So we have 2 cans of navy, 1 butter bean, and 1 pinto. And you want to get all of the internal gooey stuff off of them that they have in the can. I'm leaving the Instant Pot simmering all this time because it keeps the pot heated up. And then that makes it less time waiting to go into pressure. Alright, here's the pintos. I know some people use all these juices that are in the can, but I usually rinse them off. And the butter beans. And I really like a couple of the really big beans in this soup. It makes it very interesting and tasty. If you have any shells that rise to the top, get rid of them. Alright, well, especially on the big bean, if you see shells, pick them out. Just fluff them around a little bit. Get rid of anything that doesn't look pretty. And when you start to see the water run clear through the strainer, then you know you're ready to add them. Alright, that's a nice variety. Now I'm just going to pull this pressure cooker over a little bit to get them right in there. Alright, I think that's pretty much filled up. We'll just fluff everything around a little bit. Now we can bring up some of the vegetables from the bottom that have been sauteing, and all the herbs, because everything will stay seated like it is right now. When you open the pot, that's what you'll see. All right, now the only thing left to add is some bone broth. You can use chicken broth, vegetable broth, bone broth, or beef broth, but I like the one made from the bone because it brings in more nutrition. This is a nice variety here. So I'm going to add the whole container, and this is 32 ounces. You can see it has a dark, rich color. Makes this soup going to be really nice. Okay. Now, if you feel that you need some more water in there, let's take a look how deep that is. See how deep the water is? And some of the vegetables will give off some more liquid too. So I think that's just the right amount of liquid to make this soup, and you can add more water if you want. And I did want to say thanks to Christy for sending us some nice spurtles this week. We love them. And you can see how nice and strong they are when you're trying to stir something that's real heavy like this. All right, now we're going to change it off of saute mode and into pressure. All right, we're going to put the pressure lid on. I want to make sure that it's set in the sealing mode, because later on we'll use venting to let the steam out. Let's use the soup setting here. There's a preset for soup. It's 10 minutes. I'm going to increase that time to 20 minutes. And then when it comes up to pressure, it'll start counting down 20 minutes. We'll be back after the cooking's done to let the pressure out. Here we go. It's going to smell good in here. All right, the cooking has ended. Now we're going to let this steam escape manually here. We'll be back when the steam is out. All right, we're waiting for the pin to drop. The pressure sounds like it's almost out. And then we can open the lid. There it is. All right, time to check it out. All right, let's see the delicious soup inside. Oh, look at that. Look at that soup. Wow. Look how nice. Now, do you see the sauce or the soup mixture that we have here? We don't need to thicken that at all. That is gorgeous. It's filled with herbs and flavors and veggies. Wow. Okay, I'm going to put some in a bowl so I can taste it. I'm using one of my bowl pot holders for this one, that's for sure. Oh my gosh, this is nice. Put a little more broth on there. Okay, look at that, the happy bowl of soup. Instant Pot, you did a good job again. So you can see with all those ingredients, the time that you spend doing it isn't really that much, because the pressure cooker does most of the work for you. I have to let this cool off a little bit before I taste it. Okay, time for some ham and bean soup. Nice and hot. Wow, that's a good recipe. Okay, I hope you get to try this recipe for ham and bean soup in your Instant Pot. It's really a nice recipe for the fall and winter. I'll put the links there for you in my description for the Instant Pot, the food processor, KitchenAid, and these nice bowl pot holders, which are saving my hands right now, and they're so pretty. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.